What's up, everybody? I am Naturally Nesh, and today you're tuned into a very special episode. First, before we get into this interview, be sure that you subscribe to my channel down below. Be sure that you turn on the post notifications so that you do not miss out on any future episodes. And go ahead and smash that like button and comment down below. Now, I won't hold y'all up because I know y'all want to know who the special guest is today. And I'm going to tell y'all, she is rooted in Metro Detroit, living in sunny LA, touring the world. She is a verified influencer, actress, designer, choreographer, and so much more. You've seen her dancing with some of your favorite artists, such as, but not limited to, Chris Brown, Beyonce, Lil Wayne, Nicki Minaj, and much more. Please help me welcome Della Hamby, better known as Damn Della.
Hey,
How are you doing today?
doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for sitting down with me today. I know you're super busy, but we're going to get right into it, okay? So, for those who do not know who Della is, please let the viewers know.
Hey, viewers. My name is Della Hamby, popularly known as Damn Della. That's my Instagram name, and it's inspired by the way that I move and dance on stage. I'm a professional dancer with the most elite mainstream artists. I love it. I am a choreographer, a director, a designer now, and the new CEO of a newly launched talent agency, Damn Della Connections.
Congratulations on that. We will get into that a little more later on in this interview. But give us a little background on, what you were doing before, entering the industry as the amazing dancer that you are.
Thank you. Before I became a professional dancer in the industry, I was doing all the same things, but just not on a professional scale. So I was dancing. I graduated from Wayne State University as a dancer with a Bachelor's of Science degree. I was doing cheerleading, track, volleyball, doing homecoming, running for the court, the queen, and all those things. Doing the most,
right,
to answer your question.
And that's okay. So when did you first know that the art of dance was your passion? And when did you start to take it serious?
I knew that dance would be my passion when I was younger. So before, as I was saying, I was doing the most. I used to enter into a lot of pageants. So I knew because there was always a talent section. Mm-hmm. And I spent most of my life doing athletics. So all the cheerleading, track, volleyball, all those things. And I eventually went back to dance when I started doing pageants because I just felt like this is it. This is what's going to take me all over the world. And this is my language. Like,
right.
When I was moving and everything, I just felt like that was the best way that I could express myself. So I stuck with it. I stuck beside it.
Right. Exactly. That's my passion, and I'm
going to stick beside it. And I'm going to stick beside it.
Got you. So are you a more self-taught dancer, or are you a trained dancer?
I believe that I'm both. I started out a very trained dancer. I had the discipline of going to dance practice every day. In my most adolescent years, I learned from recording. Like my dance teacher would put on like a ballet record, literally like a record, mm-hmm. and just let that boy spin, right. And it would be like left foot out and in. So I don't know if there's any OGs viewing this right now, but that's how I trained in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then everything was just choreography, practice, and training. So yeah, I was really technically trained. I counted all the music out. I didn't really feel anything. Everything right. was technically generated. But now, after moving to LA and being like kind of culture shocked, everybody was like, I'd be like, what count is this on? They're like, oh, girl, it's the feeling. It's on the oop and the ah and a skeet. And I would right. be like, wow. So I kind of just had to like retrain myself or like try to raw it all down and let some of the training go.
Right.
So it's two different worlds out there, technical dancers and then the street dancers. So you just got to kind of be versatile enough to be both.
Gotcha. What was your first biggest opportunity when it comes to your dance career?
I consider my first professional job, I'll say, was I danced in the WNBA. So that was and it was when they were world champions. Okay, Detroit Shock. But that was way back in the day. I'm showing my age. That was my first like professional job, right? But I think my biggest opportunity was my first tour. Touring is my favorite thing to do. And that's what made me feel like I really did something. Like I really made it.
Like, and go ahead.
Yeah, like I was like, ooh, I'm a dancer for real. Like, what? Was the Lil Wayne tour. So
the Lil Wayne tour?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so how was that experience? Like you said, your first tour, were you nervous? Of course, I'm sure you were. And like, what were some of the things that you did leading up to the tour to, be prepared?
I was beyond nervous. I don't know what word to use for that. I was a young girl. I think I was 21 when I auditioned for Lil Wayne. And to answer your question, the things that I did leading up into that opportunity was an audition the day before for Nicki Minaj principal dancers to go on tour. And this was her first tour as an artist because it was the Young Money tour, right? So I went and auditioned for Nicki Minaj. And like, we had to go one by one back then. Like, it was like in person. Okay, her and Lorianne sitting up there. And then it would be like, okay, Della, go. So I was like, go, whatever it was I was doing. And they didn't let me get through 1/8 count. So I was like, oh my God, like, this is how it's about to be? Like, oh my God. So she kind of just put my headshot over her face, like, can you tell her to stop? Like, and then they was like kikiing, laughing, like, oh my God. So both their faces was in the thing. And I'm like, oh my God. I was still dancing like so big from Detroit, like, you gonna see me. Right. Right. Didn't see me, got cut, get out of here. I cried for 5 hours. So then the next day I heard, oh, it's a Lil Wayne audition. Now Lil Wayne he still is my favorite, right? So I had him all over my lockers, all this stuff. So, I just remembered that and why I do this. And I went, and what I did was I crashed the audition because I wasn't invited. I didn't have an agent at the time. I wasn't supposed to be there. I just kind of like heard word on the street it's an audition today. I was done with auditions though, because I just got cut like that. So I was already traumatized. Right. Because this is early on, I didn't have the thick skin that I do now. So I went in there anyway. And ended up booking a job. So that's my favorite. And that was my first big opportunity.
I love that story because it's a great testament to, your dedication to, even though you went through getting cut, you're like, what, this is what I want to do. So we're just going to go crash the spot, okay, and let them
blow up the spot. Oh, and I just want to add really quick, this is an extendo answer to this question, but when I booked that job, Lil Wayne was the headliner on the tour, but then guess who was on the tour also? Nicki Minaj.
Period.
I was like,
hello, how you doing? Remember me?
Yeah, I'm like, hey girl.
I'm crying. That is amazing though. Did you have an opportunity to work with other artists before Lil Wayne?
I had an opportunity to work with a few other artists, but it just was nothing compared to him because he was my favorite. But before Wayne, I worked with Mariah Carey and who else? I worked with Disney. I did Disney, so I consider that a celebrity. Yeah, for a few years. I did America's Best Dance Crew, but I still didn't feel like, this is it. This is what I want to do forever. It was just like, I've been doing this for a long time. Okay.
Gotcha. So, because I know you said Lil Wayne is your favorite, listen, Chris Brown is my favorite, all right? Been a fan since
that's my other favorite for sure. Everybody knows that.
I've been a fan since 2005. I would love to know, with your experience with working with him, what would you say was the most valuable thing that you learned from him being an artist and him just being creative and, the visuals that he created, his music and all that?
So many things. So this is always a complex question for me, but I would say the most valuable thing is just his persistence. Like, he is, I hope I'm using the right word, he is resilient. Like, it's no amount of just BS, no amount of criticism, no amount of insecurities, no amount of anything that's going to hold him back from doing something that he wants to do the way that he wants to do it. Right. So he's built such a creative genius and a mind-body connection that I admire. Like, just being around him and being in his presence, there's no way not to learn something and take away some type of win, just being like in the atmosphere of him, because he's a great person, like inside and out. So to be judged on the level that he's been judged like for a very long time, and the way that he just keeps pushing through all these like invisible battles and everything, it's just like, I love it. Okay. Yeah. And he's fun. Like, this is my most fun boss. Like, it feels so amazing being able to like share space and energy with somebody that's so great.
That is the goal
of
this generation, period. Mm-hmm. He's not the Michael Jackson of this generation. He is the Chris Brown of this generation.
Yeah, so, he is himself as fuck. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You can tell Chris Brown, all right?
And he allows us to be ourselves. So that's why I really F him.
That's amazing. So let's switch gears a bit. Like I said, you are the definition of a female hustler. You are not just a dancer. You have so many other titles as well. Come on, Diva. Okay.
Let's go.
So please tell us about your other hustles that you have.
Okay. I'll start with my new clothing line. Well, it's not that new. It started summer of 2020, but it's called Fake Famous. And starting simple and minimalistic, but it's really just like a tour aesthetic of clothing. So I'm hustling, designing, and actually like pressing my own clothes. Mm-hmm. I make wigs. These aren't things that are like advertised, but I make bomb wigs. Like, so I call them performance wigs because it's like, you can just, there's no way you're about to see anything, and it's never coming. What else do? I do the most. Like, I call myself a stepmom because I take care of a bunch of kids that like are not mine. Yes. But I love it. I actually really do enjoy it. All my students are my kids. And I don't know, I do the most. I'm a certified mixologist, and I did one bartending job on Married to Medicine, but I never advertised it. But yeah.
Okay.
So, got a bunch of random talents.
A lot. I believe it because the personality is given. Okay, it's like anything you put in your mind to, I'm sure damn Della can do that, period.
Yes, thank you.
Tell us about your talent agency, and the people that are interested in, joining your agency. What are some of the things that your agency offers?
So Damn Della Connections is the name of the agency, and it's more like a pre-agency program right now, because we don't have anything like this here in the area. So I'm getting everybody familiar with the process of how professional agencies operate. Okay. So that, I'm just here like as a big sister to everybody and an influencer, and just kind of giving back so that they know what to expect when they actually step into these professional realms. Mm-hmm. Because I'm just trying to be something that I never had with this whole agency thing, because I had a lot of culture shocks, just being like, oh, wow, I didn't know this was like this. I didn't know this person, this is what they be doing. Like, I just didn't know anything. So I'm trying to give back what I know to the talent here without kind of taking away any imagination, right?
And when when you say here, are you saying Detroit or LA?
In Detroit, I'm sorry. I'm in Detroit right now doing the agency programs and just working with local artists out here and things like that. Okay. But I'm bi-coastal. So I'll be in LA next week, and then I'll be back out here. Vibes. So the agency offers, and I actually represent a few people in LA too, but I'm keeping it really small and boutique for now, because I just want to be able to just, pay attention and work with everybody closely, show them how to have proper resumes, cover letters, how to present themselves and submit themselves for jobs. Some of the jobs obviously are slim right now because still lacking because of pandemic and all those things. And people just really don't know. They're kind of just ignorant, and it's not their fault, of how to like book a dancer, how to work with a dancer, how dancers don't really know how to work with artists if they haven't worked with an artist before. Like certain little invisible rules that I'm just like applying and making sure that they know so they can be as great as like I've been. Right. So it's like little rules like, oh, never cross in front of the artist. If you do, you need to duck down, like figure this out, how to, things like that.
Right.
So we offer direction, choreography, dancers, models, and artists too. So if you need like an artist to perform at an event that you have or a venue, totally hit me up. Like, we have it all. We'll work with your budget and all of that, because it's more of a caring type of thing, showing the way and still a learning experience, as opposed to being like, these the rates, baby.
Yeah. You either got the money or you don't. So
Yeah.
that's amazing that you are giving back to your community. Would you say that you had that type of mentorship when you were coming up in the industry, or was it you kind of having to figure it out for yourself?
I would say that mostly I had to figure it out for myself, but definitely didn't get here alone. Like,
Right.
did not get here alone. But the reason why I say I had to mostly figure it out for myself is because a lot of people don't do what I do that I'm close to, you know? So this is something that was mine, my talent, my dream. So in order for me to go out and actually get it and get to this level, I had to be full throttle, like all in and focused. So they helped me where they could. And just most of the time, like it was kind of just like me figuring it out and going through things and improvising and faking it till I make it.
Right.
Fake famous.
Fake famous.
But you know, I didn't do it all on my own. And right now with the agency, I'm not doing that on my own either. Like I have two of my sisters here, Melissa and Tiffany, they're connections agents, and I have Brandon from Skill Set Movement Studios. So we all kind of collectively work with each other for sharing space and doing all those things. So I got a little team that's kind of lit.
Right.
So hit up.
Official. Okay. So outside of your dance career, your talent agency, acting, and the other things that you do, you also offer coaching. Tell us about the type of coaching that you do. Is it just dancing wise, or what coaching do you offer?
I do dance coaching. So I teach dance classes, like open classes to all levels. I teach master classes, which are like tailored and themed classes to like whoever it is that booked me. I teach intensives. So like if you want to focus on a specific thing, like, oh, music video etiquette, or how to, I don't know, be as flexible as possible. Like literally the whole intensive will be focused on that. And I think I'm rambling now. Take me back.
So the coaching that you offer, what you said is dance classes and etiquette for music videos.
And so not only do I work with dancers, I do choreography for large like flash mobs, things like that. So background, environment, choreography, or movement for artists that isn't necessarily choreography. So like if they just want to know how to carry the stage, how to grab their mic, or how to pose for a photo shoot and just feel secure and comfortable, that's where I come in. And I'm just like, you know, behind the camera being like, oh, head down, oh, right there, don't move, I'm gonna come fix your hair and things like that.
Gotcha.
So just making sure that people feel good.
And whatever art it is, whether it's dancing,
and especially performance arts. Like I consider myself at this point like a performance master, just because I didn't gain so much knowledge just from the great people, and then, you know, threw in some of my own creative little hacks.
Right. And you also cast for live events and films, so I'm assuming that it's casting dancers for music videos and movies. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So I've done some mainstream things and some like local things. But I'm up here.
Yes, hustling. Like I said, female hustlers. The other things that you do and you have on your plate, I'm sure dancing has taken a lot of your time. What inspired you to start the clothing line Fake Famous?
Fake Famous is inspired by just like dreamers all over the world. Like it's a lifestyle brand. And I say that because I meet a lot of people that I get close with and connect with from being on stage and being like with these artists and famous people. So a lot of them I have met, and some of them I haven't even met before, but they're dreamers. And they'd be like, oh my God, you're famous, you're famous, you're famous. And it's like, I'm not famous because I don't feel famous. But then one day I looked up the definition of famous, like, bro, what actually is famous? Like, because am I famous? And it's really like famous. The definition of it is to be well known by many people. So I'm like, wow, well, I'm known by many people by face and by name, but it's not like I'm famous. You know what I mean? So then I'm like, well, I know for a fact that the word fake means to like appear thereof or to appear as or whatever, but it might not be. Right. So I'm like, well, I know I ain't no fake. Like, but I mean, to appear famous in perspective with all of these people, it's like, bro, I really am fake famous because I'm out here living the lifestyle of the rich and the famous. I'm actually with the rich and the famous. Like, I know famous people know me. And it just makes sense. So I'm just like, you know what? Just like with my name, Damn Della, the people gave me the name. I sound like Lil Baby, the people. But like, my name was Dellalicious before, but everybody kept saying Damn Della when they see me, like, oh, young, whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, my name is Damn Della. I'm gonna own it.
Ooh, fuck it up. Hello. Give them what they want. Blase. Ooh, fuck it up.